Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we are going to talk about why it is so important to learn real patience when it comes to not only your day to day life, but achieving those true overall goals. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to learning real patience, this is something that I have personally struggled with a whole lot in my life, especially when it came to me first building my business. Because I am the type of person to where no matter what I did, either work, hobbies, this business, no matter what, I had to see some sort of growth. I had to see a sign or something out there to just tell me that I was on the right track or that I needed to keep going. I needed to see something else instead of just looking deep into myself. And the problem with that is because I was relying so much on those signs. I was waiting for a coach to tell me I was doing good or to see some numbers go up through my podcast. I was relying so much on that. And when that didn't happen, when those times wouldn't come when I thought it would, I would get so discouraged. I would put myself down. I would beat myself up. I would go into this I can't mentality, and then I would just go and completely give up. I would lose that patience. I would be like, you know what? What's the point of me waiting anymore? What's the point of me going on, especially if I'm not getting those signs? So, to learn real patience is crucial because it's going to help you look deeper within. It's going to help you see the bigger picture and realize that patience isn't just about waiting, but it's more about what you do while you wait. And trust me, at first I thought that was BS too. To really think about patience, when you really think about patience, you sit there and be like, all right, well, it's about waiting. It's about doing this. It's about, trying to wait out long enough until those dreams are true. And now, yes, that is a big part of it. But to have real patience is to not only wait, but like we said, what you do while you're waiting, how you motivate yourself, how you carry yourself, the people around you, even if it's not business related, your dreams. When it comes to certain people, certain situations, how patient are you with them? Are you giving it time? Are you just crashing out right then and there? Are you really thinking things through, or are you losing that patience and making the situation worse? That all plays a really big part when it comes to learning real patience, because real patience is not something that everybody is just given. It is very easy to lose track of something, to be like, hey, I've been at this for 3 years. It's not getting anywhere. I'm done. That is very easy. But to make yourself keep going, to motivate yourself, that is the hardest part. And like we said, that's literally with anything: goals, hobbies, work, people, whatever it is. Having this patience is so crucial because for me, as you guys know, we've talked about it a lot of times. I was a crash out. I didn't have that patience. If somebody looked at me wrong, I was going to go and react. I mentally just couldn't basically sit there and motivate myself or try and figure out, why I needed to keep going. I just, in my mind, if I wasn't seeing that success, if I wasn't seeing those signs right then and there or within a couple of months, then it wasn't for me. But in all reality, how are you going to reach anything you do by having that mentality? Because overnight success is not real. Yes, you will see people blow up on the internet. Yes, sometimes they will get famous like that, but then they have to keep it. They then have to keep those followers. They then have to keep that attention. It is not easy. So that overnight success, get that out of your mind. Real patience is going to get you there, because while you're then going for 3 years, day in and day out, and you're getting this little growth, maybe number by number, hundred by hundred, that's when you have to sit down with yourself and be like, you know what? I see the bigger picture. I can do this. No matter what gets in my way, I can make sure that I can strive to be my very best. That is where this real patience is going to come in hand. It is not easy. Just like anything else, you have to educate yourself. You have to try and look between the lines and really find out what's bothering you, what's stopping you from reaching that full potential. But once you do, once you get a hold of this real patience, I promise you, you will start to see that growth. You will start to find that motivation to keep going. So, if you're ready to just genuinely strive towards those goals, you're ready to change your life, really take control, then it's time to learn that real patience. Whether that's through dropping friends, going to a new environment, carrying yourself differently, that I don't know. That you actually have to sit down with yourself and really read between the lines. You have to figure that out. But you can make that change. You just have to educate yourself. Go day by day and try and carry yourself a little bit differently. Try and motivate yourself. Tell you can do it. Look in the mirror if you have to and say, you know what? You are going to make it happen. You are going to reach these dreams. I don't care how cliche it sounds. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you stay focused. Because once you learn this real patience, everything else is going to start to come together. When those situations come at you, instead of you now losing patience and being like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. You're now going to look at this situation and do a whole 360 and realize, you know what? This is nothing. I can get past this. I can learn this. I can use this to motivate me to go 10 times harder. That's what that mindset does. So having this real patience is difficult, but it's all about that mindset. If you really want that change, then stop making excuses. Stop putting yourself down. Stop with the I can'ts and start to just do it. No matter what you are going through, everything is happening for a reason. If you believe that or not, I am telling you from experiences. I used to not believe it, but everything happens for a reason. So if you are grinding, it is taking time. It's taking time for a reason, for you to learn, for you to get better, for you to perfect your craft. Learn real patience. Start looking at the bigger picture and stop selling yourself short, because the only real way you are going to make these dreams true is if you go and apply yourself. But with that said, today's quote is by Leo Tolstoy. He once said, "Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience." I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowdham Podcasts.